engine change, and Coy Gibbs making engine changes as well, the 92 and the 20 prior to the start of the. Oh, and we got problems over in turn 4. That's the number 46 machine of Ashton Lewis, and also involved, that looks like the number 30 that Chad Chaffin is driving. That is Christian Fittipaldi's regular car. But Christian also runs on the Kart FedEx Championship Series, and he had to leave to get over to Australia for the next round of that series. So Chaffin, who did not qualify for this event, is filling in.
It looks like that that might be most of the day for the 30 car. It is really crunched in the rear. I don't see how they would ever get any fuel in it. If they get him back out, it's going to take a lot of effort. Lewis got away pretty much unscathed.
Let's take a look at it again, Glenn, see if we can figure out what happened up here.
Yeah, Chad Chaffin was under Ashton Lewis, and they both kind of washed up the racetrack, and looks like it got away from Chad just a little. Well,
actually, no, that was is that Kenny Wallace?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was a black car. I thought for a moment it was Chaffin, but it was not.
Yeah, that's Kenny's car right there on pit road, the 48.
You're exactly right. That's what happened. He got into the side of Ashton Lewis, and I imagine if Chaffin came along, didn't see any place to go, hit the brakes, and it turned around on him.
And he's got problems on the right side.
Looked like possibly a tire going down still on the 48 car.
And here's Chaffin hitting the wall. That was Chad backing into the wall. I didn't see anybody around him at the time to get him loose. Well, let's take a look at Kenny Wallace's car. The right side, passenger side of the car is where all the damage is.
Yeah, he is coming back in.
And I think he's got big problems on that right rear, Glenn. Or yeah, the right rear. See how that car is sitting there?
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, the right rear tire is
down.
Yeah, they'll be able to fix that and go on.
You got to be careful of all that. You can see the rubber just flopping around in there. Make sure it doesn't get wrapped around anything. And let's take one more look at it.
Yeah, you see Kenny Wallace and Ashton Lewis getting together there. So this must have been two separate deals, unless Chaffin hit the brakes out of the camera there. Maybe he was trying to avoid Ashton Lewis as he came back down across the racetrack. But that was definitely just a two-car incident there.
I'm here today at Memphis Motorsports Park. The 09 of Clay Dale spinning over in the turn 4 area. And it looks like the 64 might have been involved as well. That's Richard Jarvis. Jarvis was part of it, and now the 09 as well. And the 49 involved. Joe Buford.
Thank you.
Wow, they did a great job. All three of them spun that Hornet they got when they.
Oh, we got one rig sliding through the front straightaway grass.
He's got to keep that car moving. He can't let that car stop because it's so wet and muddy down there. Looks like he's going to make it through.
Randy LaJoie in the incident as well. So the winner of last year's event here at Memphis has his number 7 torn up, and the third caution flag of the day is out.
Yeah, Riggs was able to continue on. He just barely got the nose into the wall when he went sliding through the grass. Don't think there was too much damage to his car, but you can see the damage on Randy LaJoie there. It's pretty significant. Hopefully it's only sheet metal, but there's a lot of it.
Let's take a look at it again. Here's Riggs, right here, the number 10.
LaJoie is well up ahead of him, so evidently LaJoie had contact with somebody else. Oh, yeah, he came down and clipped, looks like Bobby Hamilton.
Yep.
He thought he had cleared him, and he didn't, and it sent him spinning, and then he spun right down in front of Riggs, had no place to go. Possibly a little miscommunication between the driver and the spotter there. Yeah, they're going to look down at the right front. I think most of it is just sheet metal.
Let's check in with Mark Garrow.
Well, the Dr. Pepper Chevrolet is in for Ron Hornaday. Again, they were without their crew chief, Tom Losi. He was out elk hunting. I bet he wishes right now he was here. They made a slight adjustment, put a little bit of wedge in the race car. Now 4 tires filling it up with fuel a little bit farther up pit road. Also, we see Jason Keller has brought the Albertsons Ford in. Hornaday down and away.
And there's a race off pit road. Greg Biffle, the leader, was also on pit road. And it appears that Johnny Sauter may have beaten him off pit road. So Sauter picking up a position there, actually 2 positions, because he was in 3rd when the caution came out. Biffle had just retaken the lead. Looked like a 4-tire change and fuel for Biffle. I don't know if they made an adjustment. I know that Mark will follow up with all the guys to see exactly what they did.
So everybody takes advantage of this yellow, the third one of the day, to make their first pit stops. Those that hadn't been down there right yet.
Let's see what happened in this wreck. We're inside Jack's brake car here. Whoa, you see, oh, I see what happened. Scott Riggs got on the brakes. He saw what was happening in front of him. He backed out. He got punted from the rear. And there it is, the 21 car of Jay Sauter.
Damage to Jay Sauter's car. And Jay, of course, right in the thick of the chance to win this one last year.
It's so tough when you've just taken, you haven't even run 5 laps on a restart. Everybody's really going hard. You're really racing hard for a position on the racetrack. You've got a big group of cars in front of you like that. Somebody gets out of line and you let off, boom, you get hit from the rear.
Oh, and Sauter's pit crew fired up about that stop. They put their man up front. And we'll be back to Memphis after this.
Drama is banned.
Here in turn 4. We got David Green involved. 0-2 is Lowell Bennett. And this will be our 5th caution, Glenn.
There's another car up against the wall just out of the camera view there, and I can't see who it is. That's Bennett pulling away there. The 64 car of Richard Jarvis. So the Secrets car. He's got some pretty significant damage there to the right front of that car, so that's going to need a tow truck to get him off the racetrack.
Heavy damage to the right front. Let's take a look at it again.
See if we can see exactly what happened here.
The 47 is Shane Meal, it looks like, got into the 02. Tony Raines got into green.
Yep. And Richard Jarvis had no place to go because David Green spun the wrong way up the racetrack. Jarvis took evasive action and plowed into the wall. Look at this is Jason Kellano. Look how close he comes to all this mess. Wow. That's why you don't want to be back there in all that traffic. You want that kind of stuff behind you.
Shane Meal's car just looked like it wiggled a little bit in the front.
I think what happened was the car in front of him actually kind of bowed up a little bit. Meal had a pretty good run at him there, and it looks like Shane tried to avoid him there, turned it real hard to the left, but still got into him. See a little smoke coming out of Richard Jarvis's car there. And you see David Green there. All that Green did was he slowed down, saw it in front of him. Somebody plowed into him from the rear.
And Shane Meal makes his way to pit road. The crew goes to work on the left side.
A little bit of damage to the front end.
Mark Garrow?
Just a slight amount of damage to the left front to the David Green GMAC Chevrolet. It looks like they're going around the right side. It looks like a 4-tire stop. Green, before this situation happened, very happy with his race car. They planned no more adjustments the rest of the race, just 4 tires, and they were going to take off each time after loading up with fuel. Right now you see the crew working now on the front end of that race car, trying to pull it out away from that left front tire, and Green is down and away.
One of the things that this does is the teams are limited to the numbers of tires that they can change under caution to 3 sets. Now, they've already pitted twice under caution. We haven't even run 100 laps yet. Guys like David Green there, that really hurts him because under caution for the rest of the race, for the last 150 laps, he's only got 1 more set of tires. So even though he has a good race car, he's going to be limited somewhat to what he can do with it if we get a lot of cautions and the other leaders get to come in and change, because most of the rest of them have 2 sets of tires left.
But they do like the way the car is running overall.
Well, we got a spinner down the back straightaway and another one along the wall. There's the 54 of Grubb on the backstretch. The 07 of Reagan Smith is over in turn 1.
2 totally unrelated incidents there. I don't know what happened to Grubb going down the backstretch, but Reagan Smith had already gotten into the wall down here into turn 1. It looked like something must have gone wrong because there are skid marks that run way up out of the groove right up to the wall. He smacked it pretty good with the whole front end of that car.
NASCAR Busch Series in town for 250 laps. We're under caution again due to 2 different incidents here on the speedway. First one is this: Grubb spinning all by himself on the backstretch in the 54, and he continued on. The other one, much heavier impact, the 07 Reagan Smith into the front stretch wall. And Reagan is actually filling in for Deborah Renshaw, who is supposed to be driving this car, Glenn. Deborah, of course, involved in a terrible accident at the Lowe's Motor Speedway last week, and Reagan just 19 years old.
So nervous. And so he goes out and he qualifies the car back in the middle of the pack. I saw him in the garage there this morning. I said, yeah, you just blew it, didn't you? Whoa, we got a spinner
Contact
here.
again, Glenn. The 94, Larry Gunselman. Larry was running back in 32nd position.
Caution is out. No contact there, so should be able to get him straightened out. Let's finish up the Busch thing since Larry appears to be okay there. But this morning in the garage area, I was kidding Busch. I said, you just couldn't do it. We're going to see a replay here of Gunselman. See what happened there. Somebody had some contact with him. Oh, yeah. Shane Mill got down on the curb off the racetrack and bounced up the racetrack into Gunselman.
Fire erupting from underneath Greg Biffle's car. We are under caution again. Believe it or not, Greg Biffle is in the wall after a spectacular run here today at Memphis. And the heat isn't going to be just underneath the car. I am sure he is going to be extremely hot under the collar, Glenn.
Oh, no doubt. He was going into turn one. Watch this. Watch what happens. He's going to go by and put a lap on Lowell Bennett, who's several laps down. Watch him come in and watch Bennett go right up the racetrack. Boom! Comes way up the racetrack and just clobbers Greg. Into the wall he goes. Out of the lead, more than likely out of the race. That's a hard hit.
And that's the one thing, Glenn, that you can't count on. We talked about the battle for the championship. And the one thing that Greg Biffle couldn't factor into it today is an incident just like that. That puts Jason Keller right back in the hunt.
Absolutely. The inexperience of another driver. Greg waves to the fans there to let them know he's okay. Left under his own power. But, man, what a heartbreaker. I mean, there was no way anybody was going to catch him. Wow, things change in a hurry.
That's Randy Goss out there, the crew chief, trying to see if there's anything they can do. As you're inside the car right now, you see all the smoke from the onboard camera.
Yeah, the fire that erupted, Greg was trying to start the car, and evidently it broke the fuel pump when it hit because of the fire. The fuel was running out of the car there. So Greg just shut it off and jumped out. I'm sure.
To Mark Garrow.
I'm here with Greg Biffle, who just walked away from his car.
Infield care, we're trying to fix it.
His crew chief, Randy Goss, right now instructing him he'll have to go to the infield care center in a moment. But first, Greg, unbelievable turn of events. What happened?
I really don't know. I left that lap car plenty of room, I thought, coming in the corner there. I'm not really sure what happened. I really don't know. It was a pretty hard hit. It ran my bell pretty good, but I'm all right. I don't know what happened.
How disappointed are you in the fact that you could have put a final nail perhaps in the coffin of Jason Keller's chances to win the championship today? He was struggling back in 17.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating, but that stuff will happen. You know, that's why we call it racing.
Well, needless to say, as you see Jason Keller, who has just greatly closed the gap back up, Lowell Bennett's crew chief, Joe Shear Jr., has been called to the Busch hauler after the race to talk about this incident.
Well, I mean,
oh, what a hit.
Yeah, it was. Like Greg says, that was a tremendously hard hit. But look how quick he was already taking the car out of gear, getting ready to try to fire it back up. But
well, this race has changed dramatically here on TNT. Greg Biffle had dominated, but now he is out. Scott Wimmer, your new leader. Under caution here today at Memphis Motorsports Park as race leader Greg Biffle, who had a 238-point lead if the race had finished just prior to this. Watch this. He takes the lead, and then this contact knocks him out. A vicious impact. Craig was able to climb out and walk down off the racetrack. But Glenn, it was 238 points if the race had finished just prior to that stop between him and Jason Keller. And now
a good bite up off the turn, so he's just using the throttle. We got a car in trouble.
Gunselman. And Larry has had trouble all day today in the 94. And will that bring out a caution?
He has gotten into the wall, the right side of the car. It's very flat. It's been pancaked. Hopefully he can make it back to pit road before the car comes to a stop.
I don't know if he's going to make it, Glenn. Let's take a look at the replay.
Coming off of turn 4. Boom. Wow, he was up in no man's land there. Very high up on the racetrack.
He's come to a stop. That'll bring out the yellow.
Battle for 6 there, Shane Mill.
And Jason Keller on the outside.
Whoa, we got trouble right in front of Keller. Rudiman. Oh, he gets T-boned.
Lots of cars involved in this one. Mike McLaughlin is one of them. The 75 is Butch Miller. Looks like Ashton Lewis is in there. Yes, he is right there, the 46. A little bit of fire inside the right front. There is Mike McLaughlin trying to get out of that very, very wet infield. All that rain over the weekend. The wheel going about 180 miles an hour. The car about 1.
Yeah, he made it.
There's Coy Gibbs, who is having a great run today. Now the 20 car is torn up.
And what all this is doing is moving Jason Keller up in the pack. He's all the way up to 7th right now.
Look at the left front on Coy Gibbs' car. There's Keller's on board. His car seems to be just fine. As Gibbs nurses it onto pit road. So just when it looks like this race is going to settle down, every time we get a big incident like this one. Looked like David got turned.
Looked like Jamie McMurray might have been right behind him. And they got together coming off of 4, and the cars were all bunched up. And yeah, that's who it is.
No, it's the 36, Hank Parker.
Hank Parker. Sorry, Jamie. Oh, ooh, Hank booted him pretty good. Now watch Mike McLaughlin gets hit when he slowed down, spins off through the grass. Rudiman up the racetrack, gets clobbered.
That was Butch Miller that hit him.
And then Butch gets hit.
And now we're being told that the number 20 of Coy Gibbs is going to be held for 2 laps for rough driving by NASCAR. But I don't see Coy in this group.
Well,
here.
I think what Coy did was that he may have gone and repaid the debt.
Yeah, it could very well be.
After all this happened. Wow.
That's Ashton Lewis's number 46. Fluid's pouring out of the bottom of that. That's Gibbs' car there.
These guys are not happy. Look at this.
They're done. Whether the NASCAR officials hold him or not. Well, Scott Wimmer and Ron Hornaday and Johnny Sauter sit at the front, and Tim Sauter is in 4th. Johnny Sauter trying to get inside of Ron Hornaday for 2nd, down into turn.
Whoa, Johnny.
Hang on, Johnny! Around he goes.
Man.
Boy, he ran it in there deep.
Yeah,
no caution.
Yeah.
Yes, caution is now out as Sauter continues away.
It'll be 5 to go when they take the caution flag. Man, that's too bad. That's going to cost him a top 5 finish.
And you can see all the damage to the left side of that car.
Could be that there's something that was damaged in the car that made the car turn around like that.
Let's take a look at this replay. Boy, Glenn, he really drove it deep into 1.
Yeah, he did. He's got a good line there. Look at this. Good hard run. Nah, he just got to turn too hard.
Did I see Hornaday pointing out the side of the car there?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can take a look at it again. Now watch the driver's side window of Ron Hornaday's 26 when we take another look at this replay. Just as they're going into turn number 1. Right there. See him?
Well,
right there.
Yeah, he's motioning to Sauter to stay up to go by on the inside, I guess. Ron's got a problem of some sort because he had lost a lot of ground to Scott Wimmer.
And he is way up on the outside, too.
Yeah.
He was giving Johnny plenty of room.
Yeah, I think that's what he was doing, was just telling him to go by on the inside. Johnny just couldn't do it.
So do we think that maybe Johnny's car, due to the damage, couldn't handle it, or Johnny was just almost saw the gap and just really charged in there and just went in too deep?
Well, I think it might be a combination of both. It's hard to speculate that there was something wrong with the car. They're going to change right side tires right now. They're at the back of the pack anyway. But he did have some damage on the left side of the car, but he did drive it awfully hard down in the turn, and really pretty flat down there at the bottom of this racetrack. It looks like he just lost the bite in the car, and the back end turned around.
And he certainly wasn't expecting Hornaday to wave him by in a battle for position this close to the finish.
No.
Let's watch some Hank Parker's camera now, the driver, the number 36. He's in fifth position right now.
And also what this did was behind that, very close behind that, was Jason Keller running for the championship. He got way out of the gas and lost 3 spots. He had gotten up to 7th, and now he's all the way back to 10th.
Clay Dale's number 09 is done. Hey Glenn, how about Jamie McDonald?
És 100 fölfele. 100 fölfele, jobb 2 tempó, 20-ra bal 2 tempó, 20-ra bal 2 tempó, 25-re bal 2 szűk, bal 2 szűk, és bal 2, és bal 2, majd 50-re jobb 2, itt a bal 2, és 50-re jobb 2, majd szűk 50-re jobb 3 az aszfaltra. Szűk 50-re jobb 3 az aszfaltra.